Hello everybody and welcome back to ESA Summer Online. Welcome back. We're still raising money for the Alzheimer Fonden. So far we raised over 40,000, which is absolutely amazing. And before we start, I quickly want to read out the donation we got during intermission, by the way. So we have $5 here from Blue Crystal saying, pitching in for our $5 donation train. Good luck to all the runners for the last day of the marathon. And yeah, we have this little $5 donation train going on, chat. So if you can participate in that, that would be great. Links for donating can be found below the stream or by typing in exclamation point donation in chat. And also, now it's my great pleasure to introduce to you my good friend Zed, who will be showing you a speedrun of the Swapper any percent. So good friend, take it away, have fun, good luck. And
thank you very much, Zonaris. Don't forget to thank our partners Kaspersky, Twitch, and Sonic, who also sponsored this event. Yes. Welcome everybody to this run of the Swapper. I'm very excited to show this again after I showed it before at ESA Summer 2017. This is the Swapper. It's a fairly unknown game. The speedrun is actually really fun, but so few people know this game or the run, and as such, not many runners exist. I have to confess, I am not the most consistent runner myself, but either way, this run is so great to watch and to show, so I hope that you can get something off the run. And without further ado, I think we will jump right into the game. And I just starting a few cutscenes. The timer will start upon forced movement, so far nothing is lost here. I just would like you to admire this game's visual style here during the cutscenes, and you can see it's a very dark and moody art style that they have. And if we look at this very cutscene right here, you can see that the escape pod here that is now flying out of the spaceship was actually modeled out of a tin can of food. So the graphic style in this game was not, as it is nowadays common, like hand-drawn or animated with 3D models. No, but the developers actually modeled every single prop in the game themselves with their hands out of all kind of material, out of clay, out of stones, out of, I don't know, metal stuff. You can see around what you find and ask yourself what they used. And I think this is a very cool thing about the game. But the rest is also very interesting. And now you see that we have landed, and that means that we will start the run really soon. So get ready on the timer, because on first movement it is go. That is a 3, 2, 1, go. Here we go. Welcome to the Swapper. So we are this astronaut. We just got out of the spaceship, and we're going on this planet here. It is faster to bunny hop. However, we will not use this technique for too long. You will see why. I will explain further about this in the very near future. So we will pass this light here. This is a checkpoint. Checkpoints will obviously just save my life, so I will respawn there if I died. And they also have other properties that we will see in a bit. So here I go through an airlock. I go down here to the left. I continue jumping all the way. And yeah. And I find this. Sisyphus project is, by the way, the worst name for a project you could ever imagine. I found this device right here. Now, what does it do? It will reveal itself really shortly, because now, if I hold the button and let it go, it creates a clone. So here I can create 2 clones even at the same time. And these clones, as you see, they mimic my movement as I move around. They also move left, right, and they jump. So I can just have up to 4 clones, as you saw here. Now I passed the checkpoint, all the clones disappeared. This is basically the function of the checkpoint. It makes also the clones disappear, not just make me respawn. And now is where things get really interesting. Now we go down into this little room right here, and we upgrade our device already. And now I can shoot a beam, and the beam, if the beam hits one of the other clones, I will swap places with them. So I can basically, well, this is the reason why this game is called the Swapper. I can swap around, and this is a movement technique we call blinking, inspired by StarCraft 2, where I just create clones forward, and I will swap through the room across. And that's very fun to do if you're able to do it properly, which I am more or less maybe. So here we go down here. Hopefully we don't die. We didn't die. This is good. Now we're going there. And that's our first puzzle. So our objective is to find all of the orbs right there. You see at the top right here, this thing. This is one of the orbs. I need to find all 124 of them. Well, we don't have to do 124 puzzles. You will get more orbs over the course of the run. Here I just went to menu and back. Was a quick cutscene skip after the activation. Very useful. Apart from the swapper device, there are a few mechanics in the game that you should be aware about, because this is how the puzzles are constructed. So there are, as you might see, alright, just don't die here. First of all, there's physical objects like here, this box. I can push it and pull it. For some reason it's faster if I just push it with my buttocks, so this is why I'm always pushing them with my behind. And the next is, you will see that there's all kinds of light around here. For example, in this room you see blue light and red light. And this light has a function, because in blue light I am unable to create a clone, and in red light I am unable to shoot my swapper beam through. And this is basically a mechanic that they do to make the puzzles interesting and to challenge our thoughts and our brains as the player. So here I already have to work my way around, activate a few switches here. Go there, activate this switch so I can swap up here. Alright, got another orb. Awesome, this is progressing fine so far. What you might know the game The Talos Principle. It's I think a very popular game by, or let's say a more popular game than the Swapper. Here's another cutscene skip. A more popular game than the Swapper, and it is published by Devolver and developed by Crow Team, I think. And the narrative designer of that game is Tom Hubert, and it's very interesting because he is also the narrative designer of the Swapper. And you will see very soon in the game that it does raise some philosophical questions about identity that are very interesting and deep. By the way, here is purple light, and purple light combines the effects of both blue and red light, and these are the mechanics that will follow us through the next few puzzle chambers. Yeah, Tom Hubert is the narrative designer of this game. I find it very interesting because it's also kind of related to the questions: what makes a person a human, and here is what makes a person, what gives a person the identity. So this Tom seems to be very eager to work with games who have rather deep and dark meanings. All right, now we go through a bit more puzzling down here. What I always try to make sure is that I don't fall down too high, and that I create a clone just before I hit the ground, so I can hold back the momentum a bit, and I won't crash onto the down the floor. And these stones right there, they are called watchers, and if you walk through them, the real time will slow down. The game time will slow down. Excuse me. Of course, the real time won't slow down, and as such, you want to make sure that you don't cross the ways with too many of them. Also, you will see that when I have the red outline here, when I'm in clone creation mode, that the game time will also slow down a bit, and so I always try to not stay in the mode of aiming my clone for too long, because that would lose me some real time. Also, what you should know is that you can't just create the clone outline and immediately let go to create the clone. You have to keep it on the spot for, I think, like half a second. So you really need to be aware of the cooldown, or of the warm up rather. Whoops! Now I just accidentally fell down here. That was too high, and of course not intended. Okay, so puzzles are slowly taking up in difficulty. Going down here, and you will also see here, when I solve a puzzle, all the puzzle mechanics like the red light and the blue light, they will also disappear, so it makes it easier for me to get back through the room after I've solved the puzzle, so that the puzzle is not like, oops, that was a mistake, I have to go here, clone there. So just that it's not a puzzle to get back out of the puzzle again. Whoa, I almost missed that orb. That was close. Here we go. Go back. Currently in the communal area, so this is apparently where the astronauts lived when they weren't working. Oh. Accidentally used up all of my clones. I always have to manage all the clones. So it's a bit of clone management you have to deal here, because you can have at maximum 4 clones at once. That is, you can have 5 characters on screen at once. Now, come on. So here we go. And let's do this. Go here, grab the orb. Awesome. And go further. Now, one of the next puzzles is really interesting, because here we see, well, as I said, the narrative implication of the game. Even though you see it is fairly gameplay focused so far. That was not what I wanted, but it's fine. Okay, please, thank you. Because what I really love about this game is that it combines the story or the narrative with its gameplay mechanic. Because as you see, I do create a lot of clones, and at the same time, in this puzzle, this is very interesting. You can see I have to use up all of my clones here, and now I have to get up there, but I can't get up there yet. I have to kill this clone here in order to get the orb. So I had to make a sacrifice and kill one of my clones. And the game subtly asks the ethical questions throughout the course, if it's really worth it to kill all of your clones, and if you actually consider your clones human beings or not. And yeah, I like these kind of things. I mean, I studied philosophy at some point, so maybe I am more a sucker for these topics. But I like games with these implications, and especially if they combine combine it with both story and gameplay.
The ship, do you know where it is? Did the
Oops, alright, cool.
No, never mind.
So here we go through, and now I have to be careful to swap upwards this elevator shaft. 4, 5, oops, okay, don't worry, it's fine. Okay, we survived, that's good. Alright, so now is an unskippable cutscene coming up. So Zonorous, if you have anything to say or to plug, now would be a great time for you to tell the viewers something.
Of course, I would like to tell the viewers some donations we got in here.
Awesome.
So we got a very generous $50 donation here by Cheesy McDeezy, creative name by the way, with the comment, "Thank you everyone at ESA. Always love the speedrunning community." I can agree with that sentiment. We got $5 by Paulister saying, "Hey Zed, do you wanna swap speedruns? ? I can do swapper. You can do wavy. Good luck, buddy." Smiley face.
Thank you so much, Paulister. Oh, the FM simulator. I would love to do that. All right, we have another cutscene. You can go on.
Yeah, we also got another $10 donation here from a bad black shark saying, "Just randomly tuned in to see you running. Good luck on the run, buddy. A smaller 3.
Thanks, Shark. All right. So you might see that the game has a bit of a Metroidvania influences. It is not a true Metroidvania, as we don't find any upgrades. Here's a 0G room, by the way, so I float around and have to shoot with my swapper device. And now I ran in this box and I have to maneuver my way around. Yeah, so it has kind of Metroidvania influences, but it's not a true Metroidvania, as we do collect orbs and unlock new areas, but we do not collect new abilities. The only abilities we have is the swapper device, and that is fully upgraded since the start of the game, and that was not... Actually, I can save it. No, I can't. Alright. I should do better clone management. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4! Alright, 5. Oh, I didn't die. Good. Alright. Here's something cool. I put a clone right on top of me, so I can do one here. And as you see, clones also will despawn if the active person will touch them. So not only checkpoints and killing them gets rid of them, but also just walking them into the active scavenger astronaut.
It took years of study to accept that they were alive.
Whoops. Also, one thing you might notice, I don't know if you do, I am playing this with a bit of an unconventional control scheme because I've really experimented a lot around. Actually, the world record holder, Scepter Muffin, he doesn't play it with keyboard and mouse. Well, he plays it with keyboard, but he doesn't play it with mouse. He uses an actual graphic tablet to control the cursor, which is... Alright, here we've got the clone, which is very funny because he uses this for better precision in aiming. And I actually do not use the mouse buttons. Instead, what I'm using is using the shift key and the space key in order to create the clone outline and shoot the swapper gun. I mainly do it because I have a better way of aiming and always have an issue keeping my aim when I have to click a mouse button as well. So I'm not an FPS guy, as you can guess. Also, I can really recommend that if you're running games with mouse control a lot, then you might want to consider wearing compression gloves, because that one helped me a lot when I started running Mushroom 11 and I had run the swapper before. It really went on my wrists really soon, and wearing these does actually help me a bit. So yeah, always stay safe, that's very important. Even if speedrunning doesn't seem like a dangerous activity, or like one that could give you physical harm, still you should take into consideration that you're taking care of your body as well, even though you're quote-unquote just gaming. Okay, here we go. Got the next puzzle right there, and this one is a very cool solution because it is supposed that we will push the box on the ground and put it in front of the red light that in order to get across. However, as you could see here, I could just shoot my swapper beam on top across of that one red light, which is makes things faster, which is of course always great because this is a speedrun, duh. Alright, now control clone up there, another one here, and one here on the switch, so we can swap over there. I really hope that I don't miss a puzzle, because that one... These are teleporters right there. If I'm getting into these, I can teleport into one of the other teleporters on the space station that I have explored yet. And these are tiny teleporters, they have a determined goal, so you can't choose your destination with these. Alright, go down here. And go up there on the switch. Oh, bam. Alright, cool. This puzzle is a bit finicky, but I hope that we get it first try. Whoops. Okay, first do the... Alright, good so far. Almost messed it up there, but we are not over yet. By the way, if you're interested in playing the game casually, don't worry watching this run, because you will hardly remember anything that I'm showing you here. And the story is also very vague and not really much explained. So don't worry about spoilers or both gameplay or story-wise. Okay, and whoops, I accidentally got the swatcher, and now here. There. Now we are approaching the next and actually the last new mechanic of the game. Oops, I didn't swap. Cool. Here's another teleport that we activate, but we won't need that. Because now you will see a new mechanic coming up that we can now activate and use it for the next couple of puzzles. Because you see the floor here is sparkling, and now, whoa, I go over the sparkling and shiny floor and I flip. My gravity flips around to the direction the floor noise on the floor shows. And here's another one on the ceiling, sends me back down on the floor. And this mechanic will now accompany us over the rest of the run. If you have anything to plug, Zonorous, now would be a good time because we have an unskippable cutscene right here.
Sure. So we might have a bunch of new viewers here since last time this was mentioned. So let me talk about our charity. So we are raising money for Alzheimer Fonden. Alzheimer Fonden is a Swedish national fundraising organization that is focusing on Alzheimer's disease and other dementia-related disease. Their main goal and aim is to increase the fundraising to the benefit of the scientific research so that they're one day might be able to find a cure for Alzheimer's and other relatable or like similar diseases. Yeah, that's their main goal. Their secondary goal is to find effective medicines and like preventative measures that you don't even get Alzheimer in the first place. So, don't need a cure if you don't get it. Forehead strats there. And yeah, so far we raised an amazing amount of $40,462, which is absolutely bonkers. And we have the goal of reaching 50,000 at the end of the marathon, which is about 22 more hours from this point on. I know it's a kind of a big task, but I believe in you guys. We can do it. And yeah, the minimum amount is $5. And remember, whenever you do donate, you can put your money towards some very cool incentives. Yeah, back to you, Zed.
Yeah, absolutely. A little fun fact here. So the developers really did their research. The space station is called Theseus. And I don't know about you, Zonorous, but or about our viewers, but do you know what the Ship of Theseus is?
I've watched this run before, so I should remember, but I don't.
I haven't mentioned it in the run before, so that's actually pretty cool.
No, I mean, I saw you run this game at previous marathons.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
The Ship of Theseus is a very interesting philosophical paradox about identity. So first of all, I go into this room.
Oh wait,
I go outside again, activate the teleport. Yeah, you have heard of it?
Yes, I actually did, yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool thought experiment. It's basically the question,
yes.
Well, Theseus has a ship, and if he replaces one wooden piece, or one plank if you want, and then maybe another one, and then another one, until the whole ship is made out of new planks and no more any of the old. And then the mechanic who has replaced the planks decides to put the old ones together. Which one is now Theseus' ship? It's a very cool thought experiment about identity, and of course the developers purposely called the space station Theseus because the game is also about identity. Is who of the clones is actually you, and little excursus here through philosophy context. So you learn something by watching my run, I hope. That's a bit of a trick here. I could skip the right section of the puzzle by doing this little trick, and here we just need to stay here and wait a bit. Yeah, you can see now that the amount of orbs that I receive by collecting them for each puzzle has increased by a lot now, so it's no longer the case that I only get a single orb per puzzle. So now, since I have activated this room earlier, I can go down here and go to the left, and now activate this solar panel, detach. For some reason, all of a sudden now we are unable to skip the cutscenes after a panel activation. It works during the first half of the game, but suddenly doesn't. It's really sad because the speedrun loses a lot of its momentum towards the end. This is a bit sad. I just thought I'd warn you if you ever thought about running the game. Okay, this is a bit of a finicky section. Alright, I made it through, awesome. because you can accidentally swap around. So the puzzles are getting progressively harder, so if you don't know the solution yet, you're probably taking some time. I think for this one casually it took me hours to solve it until I got the solution. Yeah, and I messed it up, of course. Talking about taking hours. Hopefully it doesn't take me an hour here to solve that now. And now let's make up for it. Okay. Alright, we good. So I really love the sound design in this section here. This noise rumble in the background really adds to the dark atmosphere and the mood of the game. Here's another cool skip here, because we can just create a clone up there, move here, create one up there, switch to this, and alright, now I didn't have to do all the tedious work around with everything else. I could just do a quick acrobatic jump there and swap directly into the jump. Alright, now this puzzle is really weird casually, and I had to rewatch the solution when I was derusting the run because I had forgotten it. But if I'm, yeah. Yeah, whoops, okay, it's fine. Alright, I also see that my orb count is good. I haven't missed a puzzle so far. That is good, because that would have taken a long time to figure out which one it was, and maybe potentially even mercy kill the run, which I don't want to do. Alright, detaching the second solar panel. We're approaching the final set of puzzles. At least the final set in the run. You can do them non-linearly if you want, but this is the second highest. In the game, this panel requires the second highest amount of orbs. Alright. Oops. Okay, I'm good. Good. Here we go. Alright. This room is tricky because you're not allowed to swap much. You have to push this box over there. You don't need to push the box all the way over, but then you have to do a very precise angle, and that usually takes longer than just pushing it all the way. Here I tried to get behind the white field. Now I'm doing clone here, one here. This is also not an easy puzzle if you do it for the first time. Alright, and with that I have 124 orbs, and I have every single orb in the game, and we are approaching the end game, which is actually pretty good. Now I'll go up here. And now we are disengaging the final panel. Right there. Yeah, I have bound to the mouse button instead of E, so that I can keep pressing the directional inputs while using.
Okay, we should be clear to land.
Making use of the use key. Alright, now there's another 0G section right here, so I have to use my swapper beam as a rocket again, and it's easier to mash the space bar instead of your mouse button, and that's also a very good idea to rebind the controls. Alright, and now's another unskippable cutscene coming. So if there's anything to say about the upcoming incentives or something, Zonorous, now's a great time.
Alright. Just in this very moment got one donation in. It's $10 from John Saft, without a comment. But thank you very much for your $10. And if you are currently in this moment where you're thinking, if you're really close to donating, but like you're just a tiny bit away from it, how about this? If you donate a cumulative amount of at least $30, you are in to maybe win a monitor from one of our sponsors, ViewSonic. It's a pretty cool monitor. And if you are even a little bit more generous, if you have a cumulative amount of $50, you are in for maybe win a Nintendo Switch, which these days are quite rare. So all sponsored by our sponsor, Kaspersky. So thank you to those two. So yeah, if you want to win one of those two great things, get your donations in. We would highly appreciate it.
Absolutely. Here, my favorite line of the game is coming up, and I would love it if you reposted it in chat when you hear it. I will talk along with it as soon as it comes. So please pay attention to the dialogue right now. Soon, soon, soon. All right, not quite yet.
We were safe in here for decades.
All right.
There must be something we can do. There might be, but not like this.
All right, everybody. Post in chat. There might be, but not like this.
Swap places with me, just until I can.
Just a little meme for this game. Also, it's interesting how this game also deals with the topic of quarantine because of a deadly virus. I think it's a situation we can all relate in these days.
You have the same choice we did. You can die here, or you can do what you have to go on.
So this cutscene is over. Now let's go on, and of course we get into. Oh, I should trigger it, of course, first. Get into another unskippable cutscene.
Then you talk this girl into using the device. Now look at us. We are 3 different people.
But we are approaching the end game, so we have solved all the puzzles now. We just need to get to the finish, and this is when you're on PB pace. It's just nerve-wracking because it's all the little things that count now, that you're not messing up anything else anymore. It's a bit a shame that the run loses so much of its great momentum. It starts off such a tense and interesting run, and slowly fades away. Maybe that's one of the reasons why it has so few runners. But still, I can wholeheartedly recommend you to learn this and try it out, because it's a pretty cool run to do, and it's really cool once you've learned all of the puzzles and you just do them on autopilot. It's so much fun. And the dialogues, you will just, you will know them in and out after a few runs.
Then how would you ever know? I want to know. Please, let's keep things civil now. You've taken everything. You've given me no choice.
One thing, you should take a look at this giant head. It's beautifully modeled out of clay, so right there you see it on the right side. I think this is pretty cool model there. So what I'm doing now is I call the elevator, go through the door, go back. Now the elevator is down already, and then I can just swap up the shaft. We had another solution for this before, and this was super risky and only saved a few seconds, and this solution is both faster and safer. I think Seb found that one, so that is a great find. It's okay, just don't fall down here, please. That's good. Get across there. Good, okay. And now get up here. And now we need to activate the final panel of the game. Alright, and now we are making this station land on the planet. Because a quick summary of what has happened: there's these stone life forms on the ship, and they are very mysterious. They seem to transmit thoughts, which has led to the development of the swapper device, and we're trying to bring them to the planet below. And there's also this rescue shuttle that might take us home again. So we have hope to finally get back. Also, a little fun fact here. I can still create clones, but there's also another thing. So for some reason, it has happened to me multiple times. Once on this computer, and I think twice on the ESA training computer in 2017, that in this very cutscene right here, where we have to wait until I emerge from the wreck of the ship right there, suddenly I would just spawn there and walk across. I have no idea how to replicate it. I thought maybe it has to do with some frame rate VSync issues or something. But if you are interested in running the game and interested in finding out why that is, it will save a couple of seconds per run, so that would be great. All right, we have to endure one final dialogue, and then... Well, this game does have two endings. You can either swap across or jump down, but jumping down is generally faster. And time is as soon as I walk over the cliff, so get ready on the timer in around 30-ish seconds. I hope that I am not too much overestimate, by the way. I'm really sorry if I am, but I think the run went well so far. But it's not over until it's over, so let's wait what the final time is. If I kill myself during the dialogue, it will just reset, so this is very important to not prematurely jump over the cliff. So now I have to... Alright, click this and time. Good, that's the swapper. Thank you very much for having me show this run. I hope you, dear viewers, enjoy it as well, and thank you very much for your generous donations towards the Alzheimer Fonden. It's a great cause that you are helping for the research and all the development. If you're interested in running this game, there is a small Discord server available. Oh, well, we are a few runners only, but we are genuinely very helpful for any person who wants to run and learn the game. Septimuffin has created some tutorial videos, as a matter of fact. They are very helpful. Yeah, I can't say much more to it. The game is great, both casually and in the speedrun, even though the speedrun loses some momentum, but it's still very fun to do. If you're interested, just get in touch. And I think I don't have much else to say. Well, shoutouts to Tovargent, shoutouts to Emerald Ali, and shoutouts to Septimuffin, some people from the community of the Swapper. Just, I love you folks, even though we don't run this game much anymore these days. All right, that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Zed. Would you like to know your final time?
All right, give it to me straight, dog.
It's 33:24.
All right, it's not too much overestimate, so I can live with that. It's actually the best run I've done since I've derusted. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, thank you very much for your run. Guys, stay tuned. We're gonna jump into a quick intermission, and when we're back, we'll be seeing a speedrun of Rockman 6 Unique Harassment by Kumba. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.